teeter-totter tiny mice.
What?
That's my thing that I do.
Oh, that's your red leather, yellow leather?
That's old news. I need a new one. I'll make up a new one.
I'm unique. Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Unique New York. Welcome to Showmance. Your favorite show on the internet. Wait, are we going? Are we doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got going on?
Minnie, you want to do the intro this week?
No,
no,
she
fucker,
doesn't
I
want
want
to do
some
anything.
treats. Whoa.
Minnie.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, introduce Minnie.
This is Miniature Poppins. I tried to name her Zoe, but then she's so tiny. She's like 100 years old, and this is how big she is.
She's so cute.
She's a Minnie.
She does not like to be held, but she likes to sleep on your head. But don't get used to it. Don't pull any funny business. Don't try to pet her. Just don't. Just don't.
She's a classic cat. You do what she wants, and that's all you get to do. And for Mrs. Sheeks, the other one's name is Foof. I was going to write it, but then the accent, I won't even get into the story. His name is Foof, pronounced like poof, but with an F. Foof. Mr. Foof, as we call him around
I thought
here.
it was Foufé.
Yeah.
See that? If you read it, that's what you'd be like, oh, Foufé, that's a weird name. It's not. It's Foof. Also a weird name.
The accent is silent?
The accent is silent. Yeah, it's a silent Spanish accent.
I thought it was French.
It can be whatever. It's whatever Foof wants it to be that day.
No, it's fun when you are at the vet and there's a big room of people waiting, and Mike filled out the vet forms because he likes to be funny and put the little thing on the end of the E, one of those little
accents,
French accent, whatever the hell. And so then there's a lady at the reception desk calling out, Foufé?
That's us.
Foufé.
That's us.
And the only worst thing is going, no, it's Foof. Like there's like correcting it doesn't help.
Somebody actually was like, that happened once, and they were like, no, but that accent is actually like they started to split. I'm like, you're taking this way too far.
He just likes to ruin lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even that. I don't even want to say how I came up with the name, so I won't. His name is Foof. We'll go with that.
Well, he's a foofball. Like we were like, he's just a big pile of foof because he had really long, wild, like gangly hair when he was a baby.
He had all those and claws. And for a minute, I started calling him Kitty Fufu. And I just kept calling Kitty Fufu, Kitty Fufu, and that got down to Fufu, and then Foof, and I was like, that is the dumbest name, but I love it, and it stuck. And then we got Minnie, and I started calling her Minnie Foof, and she got mad about that, but we liked Minnie, and so we kept Minnie.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll be good goddamned if you are going to do this to me again. But I named the cat Danger, and I will post a photo that you will know exactly why that was the name that this cat was supposed to be.
It's such
Mike
a good pick.
ruined it. Yeah, it is the ultimate. Nope, this cat is a problem.
He is a problem.
Alert!
He's
Alert! Danger! Alert!
In his old age, but we're not here to talk about cats. We're here to talk about what are we talking about this episode?
We're doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
No, I know that part. But what show with no depth are we deep diving?
Oh, Summer House.
Summer House. Sorry, I'm tired.
Okay, well, but get a pep in your step, Missy.
All right, let me get some more cider here.
Sing for your supper.
Can I just say?
Yes, you can.
Every time I see like one of these fools pull up on like the street to pick up their buddies to get to the summer house, like that's not their car. It's this giant SUV. And then I just always wonder every time, like how many accidents they've gotten into, like smack in the middle of New York City and then getting on the freeway to the Hamptons. Like this is a town like maybe San Francisco's kind of like this, but it's a far second. This town, people don't drive in it. People don't probably have a ton of like experience driving. Like they're not experienced drivers, and not in like
New York.
Like people don't own cars a lot. Like
but you don't even try to like because
that's what I'm saying. Like it's more of a hassle. It's a huge expense. It would dictate where you lived if you have a place to park it. Like people don't have cars for the right reasons, but now they're all driving 2.5 hour, like basically minimum, like every time they make this drive. And so I always wonder, like, are there any castmates that like just like aren't allowed to drive anymore because like they've?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I think they don't even try to get behind the wheel to drive if they're not comfortable with it, because you'll plots.
Yeah.
Like you'll really.
Yeah. Like Craig's driving because Craig lives in a town where like, we would drive because LA is not a town that is like you got to You gotta have a car here. Nobody walks in LA.
I think those are all rentals. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
right.
Those
I
are
think they're
rentals, but-
productions cars
That's-
because there's that gray Kia that's been around for a few years, and you will always see it in the Hamptons.
Well, there's no I mean, a production car is a rental. We don't buy cars. We rent
Either
cars.
way, they're driving giant
Oh.
cars that are not theirs, and they also don't really drive as it is. So I imagine all of these elements do not produce a good driving
Yeah, I
record
never thought about that.
on vacation.
I'm trying to think of like, is it always the same people driving? Like Kyle obviously drives.
I feel like
him and-
Sierra drives, and she's from the South, so she probably has car
None of them are
experience.
born and raised in the city, so they should all be able to drive.
That's also true.
I just think, as someone who grew up driving in the city and also driving in New Jersey, you only get behind the wheel of a car in New York if you're like, yeah, I got it. Get the fuck out of my way, girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's fine. So I actually don't think they've had a lot of accidents. I don't even think you're daring to get behind the wheel.
There's PAs that don't drive in. They're like, no, I'm not driving a
Yeah.
van. I'm not
I
driving.
just-
Like, okay, cool.
I think dudes don't often say they can't do something. Like it's just not
What?
really on the dude resume.
That's not true.
Like I'll go in a job and I'll be like, okay, I'd love to have this job, but just so you know, I've never done any
being
of these
funny.
things because I would like hate to put someone in the position where like they falsely hired me under false pretenses or whatever, you know, where guys are like, I can do all those things. No problem. I've been doing them all since. Craig, I don't know if I was a lifeguard, but I probably was.
Yeah, all my friends were.
You know, do you remember Dylan from 90210?
Right.
Do I
R.I.P.
remember Dylan from 90210? Yeah. Do your Dylan, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, hold on. You put me on the spot. I don't even have the right
It's
hair.
just a look. No, you have it right now.
Yes, Mike. But do you remember the episode where he's having a beer in Brenda's kitchen and Jim walks in and he's like, "What is going on here?" And he goes, "It's just one beer, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm out of here, Bren." Can you believe him and
We-
Shannon Doherty are both no longer with us?
No.
So sad.
I know, but at least maybe they're together now. Because I was always Brenda and Dylan. The country was divided, and I was always Brenda first. Kelly was just like just another floozy.
Did you ever see that post on social media that's like, when did you know that you liked toxic men? And the answer, everyone's like, when I liked Dylan better than Brendan.
Oh yeah, Brandon was such a loser.
Yeah, I never did it for me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Anyway.
top of the pops.
yeah.
I know I sound like such a broken record when I say this, but I'm in a fragile place as a human being. And now every time I keep seeing any scene with Craig and Paige, and I know Paige is off living her best life and Craig is a 100 millionaire and hopefully living his best life and they're all fine. I just keep getting really sad when I'm seeing these scenes with them. Like when he is loading the back of the truck up and he says, "Oh, I brought you some drinks." And Paige goes, "I brought the drinks."
Yeah.
Every
That was funny.
It is, but it's also sad because if she was totally goo goo gaga over him still, she would be like, "Oh, chicken, you know I packed them." But everything about him is annoying her.
It's funny. Not to totally jump ahead and then we don't cover this, but like I did watch the after show after
Yeah.
that episode, and that was the first time I had seen her on a thing talking like, oh,
Same.
like this is real. Like we're in real life now. This is a real time frame. We are broken up, and there was the thing where that you were saying that where Amanda was like, well, he might regret and and they were like, Paige should he? And she was like, no. It was that, and
Yeah,
I
Amanda
was
even looked
it
surprised
was
that
weird
she
to,
said that.
Yeah, but then she said, "Well, you heard it from her mouth."
Yeah, yeah.
But it was weird to watch the episode where where you're like, I get a little lost. Like that moment, I didn't register. I was like, that's funny. I even rewound it. I think you went to the kitchen or something, and we laughed about it. So like, I still find myself forgetting that they're not together.
I cannot forget it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I look less at like the thing about where she says, I brought the drinks. Like, I still think that that's just Paige being Paige. I'm watching her basically not look at him across the room anymore, not look to see where he is, not kind of have her arm around him or like just like the body language of like being close to him when he's sitting next to her. She seems like when they're about to get into that argument, when just like last week or whenever the dinner table debacle happened, she seemed very passionate to sort of like not just that she was defending him, she was defending herself most of all, and like how Kyle was handling this. But she still seemed to have like a loyalty, and it seems like something happened in even the last week, maybe just some conversations that were like really obnoxious or whatever. Because then she does go on to say at some point in this episode, like Craig and I are having like, I'm annoyed with him for my own reasons, but like this is not helping, and like he just doesn't give a shit, and then how like her and Amanda talk about them both having to be right. Anyways, I'm jumping ahead, but I'm seeing her just the way that she's like, it's less about her jokes that she's cracking that like some people are taking to heart. I'm taking her body language and her lack of eye contact and just like not wanting to like not going out that night. Like,
Yeah.
if that's the only weekend he's going to be there all summer, like, wouldn't you want to go out with everyone that night? And like,
she doesn't.
And she just is like, I'm going to bed. It's 7.
Yes. Honestly, I get it, Paige. Call me. I fully agree with you that yes, it's in the body language, the kind of evading eye contact, all that stuff. But I really key into couples when they start taking pot shots at each other.
Yeah.
And there's just an edge there that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And I notice it with every couple, not because I'm tapping into something that other people aren't. It's just like it's just something that is fascinating to me because that is so obvious. It's just kind of like, wow, you guys are at the point, and this is to me when I know like a couple is probably DOA, when you've forgotten that you're on the same team.
Right. Yeah.
You're screwed.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I feel like that's what I always pick up on when I get these like pot shot moments with them or with any couple. Here's this line in this Jay-Z song that I love. It's called Song Cry.
I don't know why I thought you were just going to say this JCPenney commercial.
No.
I literally was convinced that that's what you were going to say. Anyhow, go on.
Jay-Z. Where he says, once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever.
Yeah.
Like if you mess it up with a good girl, like that's, and she's turned on you or whatever. And maybe he means something else by that line. But I always think of like, if you screwed over a good girl, like there's just a limit that someone who's super tolerant and super like into you and all of that, they hit that wall and it's like, I'm out forever.
Yeah.
And I just feel like something happened. I don't know if it's to your point, like in between last week and this week in the episodes, obviously, where it just feels like she has hit that wall.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's when you realize, I don't know if there's any coming back from this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, totally. And now I'm just trying to think of like what could have transpired. And I'm just thinking of like where they're at in the timeline. If like if like this show, they're coming, I don't know when they find out that they got the tour, that the Giggly Squad got the tour.
She knew that she had the tour during this episode.
But like, so I'm just saying like, I don't know if she's known for a month or how close it is to it. Like where her nerves are just like how we were talking about. And like, I'm only 5% kidding that like a tour would make me like, that is something you guys could do in your sleep. And I would be sweating profusely every day. I would be up all night just like thinking, that's not my bag. It's never been. The fact that there's a camera here is like weird enough. And like now, like it's easy to kind of get used to it at a certain point. But anyway, if she's coming up on that and she already is feeling like nervous about having never done something like this before, and then he's just like playing this thing out with Kyle, not having the conversation, not being responsive to whatever. And then, saying things to her about their relationship and whatever, like, I imagine that like her stress levels are probably just like at a level that like she's not had probably ever. A live audience is way different than like anything, even her going and hosting a show. It's a camera still. Like there's not, it's like they're going to edit it, there's room for trims.
There's leeway.
Yeah. And this is not that. And I think that she's probably at a whole new level of freaking out. And so if he isn't on perfect behavior, it's going to be like annoying. He seems like he has no regard for any of this. Doesn't seem like, I think he wants her to not go. Like it looks kind of like he'd rather this wasn't happening.
I think she made it pretty obvious what happened. Is she's getting successful and Craig's not really down for it. It's kind of annoying him, which like, I don't know. That's I don't know how this is going to come off, but yeah, I'm going to say it anyways. It takes a special dude to have a wife that's more successful than he is.
100%.
And I don't know
No,
if
it's
she
true.
is.
You've
but
always been very weird with my successes.
It bothers me. I'm trying to get used to it.
This show
but,
used to
like,
just be Natalie and I.
and
The
now
only reason Mike's
I used
here
to sit over there, and I
is-
was like, I will make my way in here,
Yep.
one way or another. They won't be the only two getting likes around here. But
I'll
it's,
show that blonde.
Yeah, exactly. I can cuss too. I don't even like these TV shows.
That's a
okay.
lie.
Yeah, total
It's
lie.
his favorite show on TV.
I know. Yeah, he
The,
doesn't care at all.
yeah, but like, so I would think that the person who doesn't have a problem with that is the successful guy. Like, no, we're both we're killing it, and maybe Craig has a funny way of showing his support because he's vocalizing that he's happy and he wants all this to happen, but it seems like his actions aren't showing it. And it seemed like throughout the whole thing, the little boat talk towards the end, like it seems pretty clear why Paige is checking out and what that ick or that like, oh, I'm gone bad, I'm not coming back is like, wait a minute, I'm about to blow up and you're annoyed by that. And Paige Sorbo will not. Paige Sorbo won't stick around for most dudes. Definitely not a dude that's going to be envious of her and jealous of her.
Agreed on everything you said. And that's actually what I was going to say. Like, I think it's pretty.
Beat her to it.
Oh, I was like, we agreed. I thought you'd like
yeah.
that bonding
We
moment, but
agreed,
it's
yeah.
fine. I agree with you completely. And I think that to also what Natalie was saying, where he's got this rift in his friendship with Kyle, which is obviously spilling over onto Paige's relationship with Amanda and Kyle. So that then stresses Paige out. It has to. How could it not?
Were Kyle and him really friends ever?
It doesn't matter because even if they weren't, he still went in on Paige, and that affected Paige to the point that she was crying because she doesn't want it to affect her friendship with Amanda, and she has PTSD from when something with Kyle caused Hannah to leave the friend group. And obviously, like, we watched the episode, we saw what she said, but that's going on. And then she even said in her confessional, like on the show this week, she said, this is bothering me. And then I also have other things going on with Craig that are upsetting to me.
Yeah.
So the culmination of these two things is just, it's a lot. And I think you can see, that's why I'm saying, like, once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever. Like,
Yeah.
you're pushing her, Craig.
Yeah.
And it's also that, like, I get it. I don't care. And I don't need to be friends with Kyle. I get that that's how you feel, but I work with these people. I have to see them and film with them every week. And maybe you could just do me a solid and make nice with him so I don't get in fights with him every week, or it doesn't threaten my friendship with Amanda. Also, I have a lot on my plate right now.
Yeah.
This is when my company, right before we were we were prepping to be on Oprah's Favorite Things. We've been on Oprah's Favorite Things list. And I remember how much pressure that was. And that's not I mean, listen, it is a really big deal, but it's not a 60 date tour, 35 cities or whatever it is. That's probably even a bigger deal. And you just feel
Oprah? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I do.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
I mean, Oprah is
wait
kind
a
of-
minute.
Fucking
I
Oprah.
should have done this down.
But I just remember how stressed I was. And I remember, like, saying to anyone around me, I'm like, if you have a problem with me, if there is something you want to say to me, please say it on December 26th. Like, this is so much, and there is so much money at stake, and I have worked my entire, like, career at my company to get to this place. We have this opportunity. Like, I can't mess this up. And I feel like he's doing all of this stuff before her Oprah's Favorite Things list moment.
Yeah.
And the culmination of those two things must make her feel like the walls are closing in on her in this really messed up way, because this was someone that was supposed to be my best friend, my partner. Like, I thought I was going to marry you, have kids with you. And now I'm rethinking all of this before the biggest career moment of my life up until this point. And I have a note in here that Paige, even everything about her energy and demeanor this episode is completely different than what we know her
Yeah.
as. Like, she just seems super defeated, really in her head, bummed out, and I felt for her.
Yeah, especially having like, I know that these shows are not taped simultaneously, or at least like these weren't, but seeing her just in Charleston like a week ago, like she is like bright-eyed, happy-faced, like it is so different than what we're seeing here. And like that season's about to end tonight, I think. Aside from the reunions, this has got another probably 10 episodes ish to go. And so what a difference, like maybe it's just 3 months or something like that has taken place. And when she said the line about, I want to tell him, like, I'm not telling him about milestones anymore because like it just gets weird and it causes problems. And I know that he's not going to react well. And she said, I don't tell him because I know that he wants to be happy for me. I know he wants to, but he just can't. And so it's like, she's still giving him the, like, I know he wants to be a good, like, but there's just something in him that like, this is like, these things don't.
I think all the things that we've said and everybody else on the internet has said are all true. Like even Amanda said in the after party thing or whatever it's called.
That's what they should have named it.
They really should have.
That's what our after show will be called, the after party.
Yeah.
Word. I think Amanda said it or somebody said that she just got tired of mothering him. So like, I think it's
you said that literally.
Thank you for remembering.
The tired of mothering, tired of him not being on the same plane emotionally. Finally, he's successful, but now you're pissed that I'm successful. Like hindsight is 2020, but it is all becoming so clear now. Like, oh yeah, this was so obvious.
And that is what I mean when I say, like, once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever. Like when you hit a wall, when you have someone who's like a good partner and showing up for you, guy, girl, I don't give a shit what your gender is. I'm just saying, like, when you have a supportive partner that's showing up, and I'm not saying that Craig's some terrible person. We're talking about Summer House. So I'm seeing it from Paige's point of view currently.
Yeah.
You just hit that moment of, I tried, I really tried, and now I'm out. And I actually think when we're watching Southern Charm, when she's in those cute pajamas that you hate that I love.
I don't either. I just was like,
oh, I was like 10 out of 10, no notes, where can I buy them? And anyway, I thought that scene was me seeing her really trying.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you've been in a kind of tenderoni spot with your sig other and maybe like you're just getting over a fight or something like that, and when
I think we have two different definitions of a tenderoni.
Oh yeah,
Bobby Brown, I don't think he's talking about what you're talking about.
He's not. Okay, well, I'll use a different word, but I love saying tenderoni. When you're in like a little tendy spot, chicken tendy spot.
That's what you can call them. They're having a chicken tendies.
Yeah, she's having, because they chicken. Yeah, I think they were just in like a chicken tendy spot. And, you know, like after a fight or whatever, if someone comes home from work and starts telling you something, and maybe it's this person they work with that gets on their nerves, and you are being overly supportive, like, yeah, you know what? And you've said that guy has really always been like on your case about stuff. You're overdoing it because now it's like you're trying to really show like, I got your back, whatever. That's kind of how I was taking things when they were in the kitchen making breakfast, because Paige was saying, right, like, see, he was never being a real friend to you, but you had this moment and I'm so happy for you. Because I think she was thinking, okay, we're going to solve this problem and then that's going to take heat off of me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I also think that was such a good example of probably what she's talking about. When she comes on his show, she's like, I'm here in the supportive cast role, and I'm going to bring this up and then talk about like be the support system for like everything that you've said. I'm going to back it up and confirm that I witnessed that and I heard that and that's been a thing. And then when he goes there, it's just really all about him and like what he wants to do. And every word I say, I know that Christy is going to come out swinging at me because I read your comments, Christy. I'm trying so hard. Like, I have been a Craig fan this whole time. Craig number one. I have over the last 2 weeks noticed like a shift in Craig, a little less innocent, a little more calculated, which I'm also think I said I was also equally impressed with. Like, didn't even need him to be a good person anymore. I was as impressed with the way he was able to maneuver things and be as a 10-season character on a show.
Yeah.
I still love him for that. But like, there's just a thing where you said last week when you were talking about, this was like the most insightful thing I think you've ever said.
You've
About
been
this
together
show.
for 15 years. Okay.
Yeah, really.
And maybe for 15 years.
Maybe forever.
What about that thing I said about the turtles? I'm kidding.
You said Craig finally woke up and realized that Craig Conover is worth it. He doesn't need this girl anymore. He has made it. He's arrived.
He's enough. Craig Conover is enough.
That's what it was. Craig Conover is enough. And like, I never thought about that being in the back of Craig's mind, but like to take 5 seconds to think about the path that we've been on with Craig this whole time of like constantly trying to be something that he's not, or to catch up, or to
Prove
make
himself.
something, make what Courtney's favorite thing, make fetch happen. And then it happened. He can't believe it. And so with that, you would hope that everybody takes that with some humility and like, it doesn't just jump up and go, ta-da! You know, you're hoping
I have arrived.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you would love it if they could just be like, have a moment to themselves. You know, that meme.
Yeah.
But like it being like in their room or in the car, not for all to see. And it seems like he's wearing that on his sleeve lately. And it's a bummer.
I agree with all of this. Where I'm getting nervous for Craig, and Christy also, I see you. And I do love Craig. I'm very torn about this.
Yeah.
But I'm rewatching Southern Charm right now. Craig can't shake this liar thing. And it's deep. Like, I'm in the aftermath of him and his relationship with Naomi.
Yeah.
And I think this is like right before they break up. She was having a conversation with Catherine where she said, I think I'm just so angry with him because I lied for him for a year.
Yeah.
And now I'm realizing what I did. And I did it because I loved him. But like, why did I let myself lie to people for him? And that really struck me because I could see myself doing that for someone that I really love.
Yeah.
I could also see myself getting upset with myself that I did that for somebody that I love. And it's
certainly
like,
after you break up, then you're just like, it's just like one more thing. And that, do you remember when I did that? Oh my God. Like,
totally.
all that shit comes out.
And so it's like, okay, there's the Naomi lie stuff. There's that lie that he had with law school where it was, not only did he not,
Well,
like, was he
that's
not?
the same lie, isn't it?
It's the same lie that he looped her into. But before that, everybody thought he graduated law school.
Oh,
He hadn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
graduated law school.
Yeah.
There's just these little things that keep popping up with like that he's not telling the truth, that he's a liar, that this whole thing was a sham. And I just feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. It's come from enough people that there's got to be something more there. So now that Paige is starting to speak out a little bit, and I don't think she's going in hard on him, but I do think she's giving her account of kind of like, yeah, no, he lies about stuff, or he wouldn't be happy for me when these things happen, even though I know he wanted to be. I think she's being pretty balanced when she talks about it. I can't ignore it anymore. How about that? And I think I used to be able to ignore like, oh, he's a storyteller and a lawyer and whatever.
Yeah, it was just like kind of funny and endearing. And
yes.
whatever,
and now
'cause
I'm
he
like,
was such
I
a
don't
dork, you know, that like, you're like,
You know what it's like? It's like when someone is maybe not the best drunk. And at first you're like, oh, but it's kind of funny because they got a pizza coming and then the pizza comes and it falls on the floor and you're laughing. And then all of a sudden this person is like always drunk, has locked themselves out of their house. There is no pizza coming. They have no pants on. And you're like, this got real dark real quick. And I just feel like that's what's happening to me with Craig a little bit. Like you went from like a fun drunk to I think we might be approaching dangerous, murky waters.
yeah.
Jury's not in, but I'm nervous. I'm nervioso.
Their dynamic could have maybe gone a longer distance had they met now and not when both of them were on the come up. Like they were still like getting their first deals and making the way in the world today.
Making their way downtown.
I don't think they would have ever gotten together if they met today.
And maybe that's true.
Mike and
That's
I are.
twice in one
But
episode.
I'm just saying though that like Paige is always going to be a very like independent living person. And so had she met Craig later on because I think Craig is going to make a ton of money. Like if this company keeps progressing the way it is, sans any big ups on his part of just like losing control and losing the narrative and losing the support of the media and whatever, sans that, he could be a multi-millionaire, a billion. I mean, who knows? Home stuff is just like such a sky's the limit. Like, when do you stop making where do you draw the line at home stuff? Like,
yeah, if he doesn't fuck it up, he could go far. Somebody commented, where did I see the thing about Sewing Down South making $100 million? I don't think they're $100 million valuation or company. I think that either they had I saw a thing that Craig said, or somebody said that his business partners had told Craig that they had either just cracked 100 million in revenue total, or that they were going to this year crack 100 million in revenue.
Wow!
But they've only been in business for 4 or 5 years,
seconds.
so that's the story that I heard. And I tried to find the article to post it for you, but there was just a lot of articles saying that they were an 8-figure business, but somebody was like, "Oh, they're an 8-figure business means $100 million," and I was like, "That doesn't make any sense." But I think what it was is they're going to crack 100 million in revenue this year,
which is mega.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. And once it does that, I really think that like how any business does, like once you hit that stride, it really is sky's the limit. Like you just will keep on.
Yeah, because then you're stacking.
Yeah, exactly.
Just compounding from there.
Yeah.
Can we talk about something that we've never talked about? And I can't believe it's taken us like episode 5 to get to. Carl's new teeth are so distracting. I can't, and don't get me wrong, I love a veneer. I love a good, my best friend Jake and I call them season 2 teeth.
Yeah.
Because it's like you realize like, oh God, I didn't know it was that bad, but I saw it in season 1 and my season 2. Now I'm going to get the season 2 nose job, the season 2 teeth.
Yeah.
Whoever did his teeth made him look, I have a picture of it. They're these fish. They're called sheepshead fish, and they have human teeth.
Oh, how about that?
I guess that Carl has had mega teeth problems like his whole life, maybe even like just had to have a lot of work done, a lot of like something problematic has gone on with him for like a lifelong. And he says that people are always giving him shit about his teeth now and saying, you've got these giant teeth. Who chose the size of these giant teeth? And he said that it was very custom to his problems.
Oh God, Carl, I feel terrible now.
It was like, this
Courtney,
is what the dentists and the
Abby.
surgeons who have helped him along the way have said, like, this is what you need to do.
We could call a dentist and see if that's true. I'm going to call my brother tomorrow and see if maybe he didn't get 2 opinions.
But can you, when you call your brother and he's like, well, could you send me a picture? Can you send the fish?
Yeah, I'm going to send him the sheepshead fish.
You're like,
Yeah,
would
send him
you
the
recommend
fish and be
these
like,
for this?
What would cause these kind of teeth?
Maybe then just tone the color down.
Yeah,
because
I feel
they
like
is
they
real
had
white.
They had a this.
Yeah, they're like
effect
they're game show
to
host
them.
teeth.
Yeah, but I mean, they really did have. I felt like, was there a blue light in the room or something? Because they were illuminating. They reminded me of this.
Yeah, do you remember when Ronnie on Jersey Shore got his new teeth? And literally, like, he walked into the room and everyone's like, hey, guys, let's talk about the teeth.
Yeah.
And it was just like, because, also they do the gym tan laundry stuff. So they're like so charred from the tanning bed.
Yeah.
And they look like brisket. And then just like these white chiclets.
Yeah.
It's giving a little Ronnie Jersey Shore. Now I feel bad. He maybe needs to put some weight on or something. Maybe that would balance out
so many things, Carl. So many, even just in this episode. Like I have of flipped on, not flipped but I'm back in the like I don't know what I don't know if Carl's gay. Like he's something. Something is amiss with what he is leading us to believe that he is. He is so uncomfortable in his own skin. He is like.
Poor
dying
Carl. I feel so
I know.
bad.
And so sometimes I think that the easiest thing to go to is oh, he's gay because he also wears tight pants.
I was going to say, maybe he's not gay. I don't think a gay man would get those veneers. I'm kidding. I know it's doctor ordered.
No, I know. But like something, I do not see Carl wanting to get naked and be vulnerable and all the stripped down. And I don't mean just his clothes, but like anything
Emotionally.
to anyone. Like, can you imagine him with a guy? Like just
done.
Oh, you can
Yes.
totally, and him being like, oh, here's my boyfriend and we're happy and we're living in the city and we're doing our thing. And
have you
great.
seen our new China?
But like, you think that he is like a person that can be in our relationship. It just needs to be with a man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wholeheartedly.
I'm definitely not there. I don't think he's ready for anyone. Maybe one day when he gets well, he can be with the man of his dreams. But for
2
right
words,
now,
Natalie. Theater school.
I understand. Listen, you think I don't like, I'm not open to anyone being gay? This guy's standing out to me like, this guy has way bigger problems than like his sexuality.
No, but see, I think that is
But you
the
think
problem.
the root of his problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
so
like
I get that.
it seems to be super hard for him to just like be comfortable in his skin and face himself. And all of this is because if you're really doing that, who are you? Who am I?
Yeah.
And if
no,
that is
totally.
someone who my sexual orientation means I like someone of the same sex, and you've been known as like some, womanizer, Lothario on reality TV and all this stuff, and you live a very public life, it's like, are people still going to like me? Am I going to get hate? Am I this way? I don't know. I wish I could just maybe play around with it and figure it out quietly, but I can't do that because for lack of it's not like he's, the president of the United States, but he is a public person.
Yeah.
So he couldn't really go out there and just tiptoe around this without people finding out. Like Wes even had made a comment that he, would hook up with someone and then they would do a TikTok about it.
Yeah.
So trust if Carl is dipping
Isn't
his
it
toe.
weird that no one, like even Gabby would, don't you feel like Gabby would say something like something's going on there? It not
No,
be specific and not, but
I would never say that on television. Like I would say it maybe to people. I would definitely say it to people while we weren't filming. I would say it to Carl maybe in like a private moment.
yeah.
Like, have you ever like,
She
and it's
does say
okay.
something like, that he's looking in all the wrong places for what he's trying to find. So maybe that was her. Cause I do see her not being able to, she's not a Lindsay. She's not even a Paige or what, like I don't think she has the PR bone in her really. She just sort of seems to say exactly in like a very raised well kind of way, like she's not going to just shit the bed.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like maybe that was like her way of saying,
You looking for love in all the
at
wrong
the wrong
places.
bar.
Yeah.
Looking for love.
In all the wrong
One
places.
little thing also that we've
Looking for
never really
love.
talked about, the door. I feel like production at some point just decided that like this like wonky jam door that's like never closed right and like however many seasons they've been there, they've like made it into like, oh, it's this like kitschy cute bit that like the show
Totally.
has. It's not.
It's
not.
the door.
Just yes,
the
please.
Fix the door. Call the guy
in the
who owns
$20
this
million
house. Like,
mansion,
or
please.
gal.
I just mean
Fuck's
call
sake.
the guy. Like
Yeah.
I always see a guy coming over,
You
whatever.
can't-
Like
Here's the thing.
I don't think
You-
women are fighting to be the guy, the guy that comes over to
fix the door?
You can't.
The door.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I thought you said call the guy who owns the house.
Oh no! Like just like call the like whoever is like the maintenance
Mr.
person.
Fix It.
Yeah, Mr. Fix It,
Yes.
whatever. Kyle is like, he's consumed with all things of the house. He's always like, oh, I got to get these bushes trimmed.
How's that
the
lawn
pool
look?
How's the pool? How's the lawn look? You're keeping Kyle up at night for no reason, and Kyle's got his own problems to worry about. Like, stop torturing Kyle. Get the guy over there to fix the fucking door.
I always like to say, in times like these, where we can reach across the aisle and have a bipartisan moment, like fixing the door or getting rid of daylight savings, just do it.
Or get the decorator.
Okay, right.
Like, these are
come on,
easy
man. Wins for us. But
you're
wait,
in a bajillion-dollar home in the Hamptons on a show, nonetheless.
door.
Fix the fucking.
wait, before we move off of Carl, I know we've talked about this before. There is not one iota of me that can get on board with the name of this bar being called Soft. It is the most limp dick Johnny name. And I feel like I'm really coming down hard on Carl, and I'm rooting for Carl. I want him to win. I want his bar to be a success. I want his teeth to be a success. I'm just like, help us help you, Carl. Like, yes, do I want a soft, cozy sweatshirt? Do I want like a squishy, soft little kitty? Sure. Do I want, like, foof. Oh my God, he looks so cute right now. But if I touched him, he would slash me.
It always
to the
takes
white
him like
meat.
a couple seconds to realize what's going on, but I still wouldn't recommend it. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know who thought this was a good idea, because
know.
it is.
He's obviously got partners. Like no one was like, hey guy, excuse me. Not even the guy in the back that's like the intern that's like taking the notes, like, might I?
Do you know what what's
suggest?"
crazy to me? Sometimes you see these things out in the world and you're like, how did it pass? This is a major company.
Yeah.
How did this product pass through so many different
Yeah.
focus groups and inspections and CEOs and your whole
Yeah.
C-suite? Like, oh, you're so soft, man, or limp dick, or like soft everything. It's so bad.
It's almost like it's a message to Lindsay about, remember he used to say, I need you to be soft with me. You need to be soft with me. Because he does go into, and I kind of was into this because I think it speaks to a lot of people that are out there pitching ideas and getting heartbroken and getting notes back and going, what the So he says, I had this idea. I pitched it to Lindsay. There's always going to be haters. And I mean, I even pitched it to Lindsay and she was not a fan. And then it goes back to the clip of her being like, yeah, I'm going to have to put the kibosh on that. And he said, but she was right. It was not, it was a bad idea. But I've since gone back to the drawing table and reconfigured. And now we're moving forward and really excited and yada, yada. I think a lot of people out there can relate to, like, even when I would just like pitch story to Mike and be like, okay, so it's this, there's this guy and he's from here and he does this and whatever. And Mike would be like, just seems like he would do this. And I'm like, well, that's not the show. And then I leave there maybe 6 hours or so later of thinking about it in the shower. And I'd be like, that probably should be the show. You know? So like, I think it's nice that he basically said Lindsay was right. And I don't know, but then to be like, but I'm naming it Soft Bar.
Are you guys as offended by this name or like irked by it as I am, or no?
No, no, I've never been as irked as you are by this name. I didn't love it at first, but now it's growing on me. Seeing the logo on the cups, knowing that it's a cafe, and like the whole concept now, like it all worked for me. The whole scene worked for me when he was like, Lindsay, I'm gonna do a sober sports bar. I was like, bro, did you hear did you even say the words that you just said before you just said them? That is the dumbest. But now I'm like, okay, cool. It's coffee. It's drink. People are loving these fucking non-alc cool drinks. Like the dudes with the Levi aprons and the stupid glasses. Like it's a hipster fucking thing. Brooklyn, come on. I got a feeling he might kill. I think
I hope he does.
Kill.
Yeah, he's not going to. You guys think about this. How much can you possibly charge for a drink that
in
is
Brooklyn?
that has no booze in it and
$12.
The best
It probably
ones
costs
are
them
going to have
$3.
sugar in them. People in Brooklyn are not going to be ordering more than 2 drinks, maybe, of sugar.
Yeah, how many
like,
mocktails can you have?
How many mocktails can you have? We all know that Carl is California sober, so he does smoke the green bud. So I think that the only way for this to, I don't know how a business that's already like has the highest turnover in all businesses is
only
going
like
to sustain itself off of just the revenue of a couple drinks, one drink here and there, and people
selling $3 drinks for $12 and $15. It's easy money, and I think he doesn't need to last forever. He's gonna
buy all that shit to make those drinks. Like you got to have the fucking exotic fruits. You got like it's not just like buying some seltzer water and putting new syrups in it. Like a Brooklyn bar that you're going to charge.
Is it in Brooklyn?
$12 for? Isn't that what he said?
I couldn't remember.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. No. I was just curious. Yeah. I'm rooting for him, but I'm worried. It's a tough business.
Yeah.
They have like good restaurants, I think, are making maybe 30 to 35% margins. And I know a lot of those are or have 30 to 35% margins. And I know that a lot of that comes from alcohol sales.
Yeah.
Like I just remember when I used to wait tables, I could flip a bunch of tables and it was, a $30 bill. Two people you got a salad, you got a salad, $15, $15. It was $35 at the end of the meal. And then I could flip that exact same table. You throw a bottle of wine in there and now my bill's $75.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the price of the food. It was just, so at any rate, I'm rooting for him, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
And I don't know anything about business. It just seems like math.
Do we think that Jesse is trying to hook up with Sierra?
Yeah.
That's a thing. I think Sierra nailed it. She was like, I'm genuinely not trying to throw that energy back to him. I think if I did, though, turn to him and be like, fuck it, let's do it, there's a 90% chance he would end up saying yes. And in the same breath, what's so crazy to me is that I think he thinks that he really likes Lexi, that he's being totally like above board with things.
Yeah.
And he even says, I don't want to do anything to screw this up because I really like this girl and I want to give this a go.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just wondering, so are you not clocking the Sierra stuff? Or do you really think that that's just friendly flirtation, which it's not to me?
No, God, no. He literally gets on top of her on the raft. I get that it was like a jokesy wokesy, but like it was enough of an amount of time where if I saw that, I would be like, oh, you are dead to me. Like that, like you put your whole body on this girl who's like in her bikini and you're in your shorts and you're slipping and sliding with tanning oil and I'm not there that weekend. Like,
and he
inappropriate.
Yes, and he even said, he was like, sorry, you're a 10, or like, sorry, you're a smoke show or something.
Yeah.
And Lexi has been so clear that she's not cool with that stuff. And by the way, I'm not saying that she's right for not being cool with that stuff. It's irrelevant. She's not cool with it. So this is who you're dating.
Yeah.
So if you want to be with someone who does not give a rat's ass if you're flirting with people, that ain't Lexi.
No.
No matter how much you like her and her little booty shorts and bustiers.
Go ahead.
Fun buns.
Oh yeah, fun
Yeah,
buns.
fun
Like, oh, you
buns.
got fun buns at home. Like, listen, Sierra is a smoke show, but I'm just saying, like, you're not hard up for anything right
and they
now.
have
like,
a cute little vibe going. See it through, because I do really think he likes her.
when they come back from the bar, it's like him and Emerald and Gabby and West. Like, it's cute. They're all having fun and whatever. But like when they walk in, Amanda's thing is hung up on her happy birthday sign. The first thing he does, he walks in the door, jumps up and grabs it and pulls it down and he goes, Amanda's birthday, over. And then he goes into the kitchen. And again, I know he's wasted, but he goes, he knocks over all of the candy stuff that like the little candy thing, like, you know what I'm talking about?
The setup that they did
dishes.
for,
He knocks it all over. And then when he leaves, do you remember this? He walks out of the kitchen to go to bed and he kicks over at least one chair, if not two, leaves them toppled over on their side and walks upstairs. Like, it'd be one thing if he walked in and just like saw a sign, because you always like, you know, guys, high school boys are always like jumping up and like hitting the sign in the high school hallway, you know, like, okay, it's a very juvenile thing to do, but
I always swooned over that, even though it's so stupid. I'm like, oh, so cute.
Yeah, but like to start that, I'll give you a pass. But then to knock over all of her birthday shit and then to kick the chair over before he goes upstairs, like, what is wrong with you?
What if he doesn't like them? He said that video was like better than Kyle.
And so I'm starting to wonder, is something happening?
Like, yeah, those two, like, they're not like him and West are
But
buddies.
he's always been cool with Amanda because he's always like trying to like,
gas her up, and
like, and leaving the Instagram things.
But also at the beach, when he said that, oh, grab Amanda's cans, get the can. You overhear Kyle in the background saying, stop it, Jesse. And it's not like a funny stop it. It's like the tone of that was like fuck, dude, stop. Stop talking about my wife's tits, dude. It's not funny.
You're on my
anymore.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they don't
I
get
think
along
that
too well.
he has gotten away with this like another dude with giant teeth. But he's like a giant face guy, you know. So it's like if they were any smaller, that'd be way weirder. So but like something I have this vibe about him that like he's skirting on a lot of things right now because he's just so like happy and like happy-go-lucky and like gassing everyone up and whatever. There's a side, I don't know. I feel like something's a brewing with him.
Really?
Think about, and you might know this better, but season 1, what were Kyle and Carl doing all day long?
What were
at the
Kyle
summer
and Carl
house?
doing?
Just banging her. Amanda was
yeah.
a late night booty call, right?
Yeah, Amanda would show up at like 3 a.m. after the bars. Yeah.
And now they're in there, like, they're adults now, married and whatever, and Carl's... These are the new boys. Like, I'm like, this episode, I was like, oh, you're just 20-year-old fuckboy. Like, honestly, like, I'm 26 at a summer house on a TV show. All I'm doing is banging. Like, that's all. Like, what do you, yes, like 100%. And
my God.
Whether it's right or wrong, it's a story. It's like, these dudes are, they're like, oh, you need some dudes to come fuck everyone? The girl left because she didn't want to do it. I'll do it. Hey, West, you want to? Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, dude, whatever. Let's go.
Guys
Like,
and girls
what
are
is-
so different. It's wild.
What do you
What was her
mean?
name?
Because
The
if
girl
I was
Gabby is not Gabby. Who's the new girl that did leave? Because
Bailey.
made that
Bailey,
Bailey.
that's-
She's probably like
watch
on with her agent, being like, "This guy will not stop sucking my toes." Like, just can you just see Jesse just being like, "Oh, is that your foot?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a
My
10."
bad. Thought that was Jesse. Yeah, dude. These guys are here for a good old fashioned time.
Yeah. One thing that him and West are doing, I think, is an advertisement for like a little role model situation for any newcomer. Establish your role immediately by doing a buddy comedy. Like, find the bromance. Everyone in this country seems to just have such an endearing soft spot for watching like two dudes really get along and like just like having such a good time with each other. Girls can have that too. It gets a little trickier because I feel like a lot of people look at like the Paige, Sierra, Amanda, like they immediately get called like a clique
Or like
the
mean
mean
girls.
Yeah. And I'm not someone who's like, women equality and, women are held to such higher expectations. Like, all that's there. But I also think that being a woman has a lot of perks, and I'm here to stay. Like, I'm not swapping even if I could. There is something about two dudes.
It's a celebrity couple
like
of
when
sorts.
Christy, when Christy, exactly. It's exactly that.
Oh, you know what we were saying last week that I just wanted to highlight that we got right? They haven't had sex yet, Jesse and Lexi.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought so, because she said like, I'm a relationship, intimate kind of person, which I get. A quick side note. We've given her flowers before, but we have to give them again. Sierra's costumes are so, like, she goes for it, even if it's ridiculous.
No, I'm not hating on the ridiculous. But here's the problem when you are a genius at making costumes. If your costume is even, like, I thought if I had to rate all the costumes, and this one was great, it was not even close.
No. And there was no persona
costumes
that came with it.
Yeah,
like, she was a completely other person.
Yeah, she's done so much better. I was a little disappointed. I was actually a little more impressed with Amanda doing the parrot. Like, that.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Super funny.
I know, when
and
she
cute
was
and
like
whatever.
Parroting everyone.
Or
Yeah.
when Kyle was like, "You're not repeating enough," and she's like, "You're not repeating enough."
That was hilarious.
So cute, super funny. So it was cool. If that was the first time we saw a Sierra costume, I would be like, "Oh, that's sick."
I just
But
also
the others were they're too good.
No, listen, Karma Brown in the history books, okay? But also Gabby looked amazing as Halle Berry from that Bond film. I thought she looked amazing.
Yeah.
I just think she's so hot that she could have gone like the sexy pirate mermaid route.
Yeah.
So to come out as like this gross seagull. And I just, every time they got a close up of her with those green eyes, I just pissed myself. I don't know why you're having like a serious conversation with those eyes just cracked me up. And so I just wanted to highlight the fact that like, I just love Sierra.
Yeah, no. When they were talking about Carl talking to the girl, and Sierra was talking like something like, "Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen him talk to a girl." Whatever. Anytime she talked with that thing on, it like echoed in such a way that she did just naturally sound like a weird fucking bird. Like that part made me laugh. Every
Yeah.
time she talked, I was like, dude, you sound like a bird.
just-
That's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
Yellow
funny.
paint on her legs. It got me.
Yeah.
It really got me.
But I have to say something about theme parties, though. I hate theme parties.
I love theme parties.
I
Hold on.
would love to get inside your brain then, because I was literally, whenever I see people that are like super into theme parties, I think like, what is it? Like, A, I don't want to be told what to do. B, I don't want to, if you tell me to do your theme, a pirates to me is like the black around your eyes. It's black and white and basically red. Like it's very limited. And like, I just don't think I don't know. I would just be like, oh my God. And that's the theme. Like there's so many of them. But it was also very Carl,
He's from
to
Pittsburgh.
which somebody says,
The Pittsburgh Pirates.
oh, look who knows sports now. When it has to do with a theme party, if you can do a theme party, you have to your sports team. She'll know
Every
about
once
it.
in a while, I'll say something, and Shane will turn around and be like, "That you know?" And I'm like,
Somebody said something about like, do you think he cosplays in that? And I think it was like Gabby or Sarah that was like 100%. And so I think
man.
that made sense to me with Kyle is like being somebody who loves to theme. You excluded. I'm just looking at Kyle because I'm always trying to figure out who Kyle is. Really, not Kyle. Sorry, Carl. Trying to get in other skin, like hide behind something, not be in his own, just be able to play a part for the night and not have to deal. And also Lindsay's not there, so he gets to really come out and not come out, but this close.
Definitely not come out.
I wish. Can we talk about the girl he invited and the awkward game and this poor girl? Like, she just is showing up to the pirate party and what, like, lemur energy. And like, by the way, he does kind of look like a lemur, but like, do you like lemurs? Like, this was a guy who used to hook up with chicks all the time. And he did say, like, I feel like I lost my game, my
Yeah.
mojo, whatever. I don't even know what I'm looking at, but like,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed and I'm not like you. You get embarrassed during like hidden camera shows.
This gives me
All
anxious. Like,
not me.
Why is this happening? I can't be.
I'm fine with it. Someone could walk out of the turlet with their skirt tucked in their underwear and I don't care. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just like, that's hilarious. This whole scene where like when he's like, oh, she sent me a selfie. And I like, why is your armpit in the selfie? Like, is this what you guys are sending back and forth? Like, where's the good old fashioned dick pic?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm so nervous about everything with Carl. It's just,
Yeah.
it's all of it is, it's too macho for me.
Yeah.
Does no one else feel this way? Am I solo Steen on this?
No, I mean he's definitely awkward as hell, but I don't know. Like I think Carl's got, like we've all talked about, Carl's got some shit going on. Whether it's he's gay and he's not admitting it, or he's got some shit with his brother still, or his past, or his alcoholism, or his whatever. Like he's maybe all of it. He's definitely dealing with some stuff. And it's funny, in the after show they were like, well, what kind of girl should Carl be with? And they was like, oh, real sweet. And I think it was West or Jesse that was like, someone who's probably not on reality TV. And I think maybe for Carl, not like, I don't know if reality TV is a good spot for Carl right now.
Might not be.
Oh yeah.
And I do think that he gives himself way too hard of a time with the sobriety thing. Because every time he brings it up, like when him and Lindsay had broken up or like maybe gotten in a fight, he's brought it up a few times. He goes, in her defense, I come with a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
And it's like, that we all do. Like,
I know Lindsay does. Like, the
Lindsay
fact that
comes
you
with
have to,
just
like,
as much baggage as you, and she's not sober.
You gotta
like,
go to sleep and wake up to all that. Like that's a lot. I don't love. I can't say I love you, Lindsay, but like, Lindsay, you exist. Great. That would be. That's a lot. So yeah, he gives
Totally.
himself a hard time.
And it's like, there's so many sober people out there that, like,
Yeah.
you don't have to, like, everyone's great. Let yourself be great. Don't hate on yourself because you think like, oh, I'm sober and that makes me this really like tough person to be with, and I've got all these hurdles you have to jump over. It's like, I know a lot of sober people, and I don't feel that way about any of them. So I hate that he feels that way about himself.
Yeah. So I think about that relationship sometimes and wonder like, you knew this person forever, like, and you clearly like really, really loved something about them, or like they were a great dynamic for you, like for a long stretch of time. And I think it's that like you can hear all like Carl needs to be manhandled. Like ew, no pun intended. So maybe pun intended. Actually, I don't know. Someone needs to handle something, but he needs that masculine and that sort of just like calling the shots energy in a partner, but in a friend. In a when it came down for Lindsay to finally start being like, no, like this is tough love. I've always given it to you, but it's going to be tougher now because now I'm involved. And so like I don't like. Yes, I want him to stop being hard on himself to a point where he is going into things thinking that he's not worth anything. But I think that what he was saying in respect to with Lindsay about how I come with a lot of baggage, I actually think that that was accurate for, and again, I still think Lindsay comes with a lot of her own baggage, but she coddled you as a friend for a long time. And then it became a partnership in like a life partner. And so I think it was just, I think she did have to deal with a lot of him just being like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still looking for a job.
That could be fine, fair enough, but then that has nothing to do with his sobriety.
Oh yeah, no,
like I just don't want him to think like because
I don't think a lot of this shit does. I think he hides behind a sobriety thing.
I think you're right
because it's either a gay thing or a thing with his brother, or like the many things that it could be. I think that he is. I think that sobriety and somebody working on their sobriety is like it allows you the most room to keep like nobody's really going to be bumping up against you on that. It's like not societally accepted to do that. It just seems to be like he's making that the reason for why he can't progress. And I've told you this story before, but I'll just tell it again really quickly. Like my best friend growing up, who he was in love with our best friend Jamie, and so it was the reason that he never was pursuing any other women because he just couldn't help it, even though Jamie was like so beautiful and just like the light of the party, the lights up a room, all the things, so sweet, everything. She was dating guys that like were never even in high school with us. They were so much older. Like she was on that was never going to happen for him, and it was just something that he'd be like, well, I'd love to take someone else out, but like, I'm just still so in love with Jamie. Well, it turns out he's gay the whole time. You'd think I would have seen that. I just thought everyone would give him shit for that. So I would just be like, just because he wears V-neck sweaters and like speaks nicely and doesn't degrade women, that makes him gay. Like that's like,
it does.
It was
especially back then.
Yeah. This is, well, and also we went to Baptist school our whole lives. Like it's probably not the easiest thing for him to be that, but that's how I feel about Carl treating about his sobriety. Like, well, if it just wasn't for this darn sobriety,
totally,
I could move forward in my life with a partner. But it just, so that's how I've viewed that. One thing I want to comment though about this girl, I think that the reason that I was not weirded out, like, or I wasn't uncomfortable in that, because I normally would totally be. But I think that girl was on her own mission. I think she was trying to get clients to go to her yoga class. Emerald said she was making eyes at him all night from across the pool. Someone else said something. I think she tried to get my number and I just didn't get her. Like she asked, like whatever it was, like she was there trying to market herself.
Sierra, so it was like she said that I think Sierra said something about her trying to get her to go to a
trampoline class.
Yeah.
I think
or
Amanda said something about like a similar interaction. So all I'm saying is that like I didn't feel. And then the second that Jessie was like, "Oh, have her stay the night," she goes, "Oh, am I staying here?" Like she wanted to stay at the summer house. Like I just didn't feel weird. I thought whatever you get tonight, you've earned it. Like you're here to market your business and
totally.
You know, so
good for you, girl. It was just like there was zero chemistry between the two of them. He may have well been talking to a lamppost, and it's just like, why are you? If you've been talking to her for a minute, why are you inviting her up here? There's nothing. I have more chemistry with my water bottle.
No, I think that's him going, oh, I'll just bring this girl up and then so everybody will see me with someone again, and then like it won't work out, but like that'll buy me 3 more months of like, like I just think that that's how people think of it when they're trying to avoid
Yes,
living
I
living their real life and whatever. So I think that that's why he did that.
Oh, poor Carl.
And then also something I was like, and I need to go back and look at this to see if I even heard it right. But I feel like they said that they met in the fall and like had been talking to like her parent, like the way
oh my God, that's right.
he was somewhere like at a soccer game or some sports event, some game, I don't know, sat next to her parents. And so then I think her parents then like put them in touch with each other, but it was like in the fall. So I think that we've all been giving Lindsay like how quickly you moved on after this and Carl was just home devastated. I think I heard that they connected in the fall and have been talking ever since. So I don't know. Everyone to each his own. Every man for himself. I don't think that he was,
But and the whole meeting story was so strong.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was strange, but it wouldn't be Carl if it wasn't totally strange and unorganic.
So Carl, and again, I get it because he was obviously suffering from alcoholism and he was drunk all the time or like high. That was never him.
Yeah.
So like, and even having game when he shouldn't have had game.
Yeah.
Like he was hooking up with Lindsay. This is when I feel like maybe, I don't know if he was like fully sober yet or like was in and out of sobriety.
Yeah.
But it was when they first had the summer of hooking up.
Yeah.
And I think actually maybe he was still drinking. And they went to this Barry's boot camp thing. And it was after he said to Lindsay, like, this isn't working, whatever. And he asked some girl out basically in front of her.
Yeah.
That's how much, now I'm not saying this is good game. I'm just saying like game or belief he had in himself. So to see all of this, and I feel like people are going to come at me for saying this. I get that he's gone through three, if you include the breakup of his engagement, but like losing his brother, his sobriety journey, and then the breakup of the engagement. I get that those are three massive things, but they seem to have turned him into someone who's completely unrecognizable.
He also lost his job with his best friend.
Yeah, that was a whole weird thing.
Well, I thought he's back to working with Loverboy doing the non-alc stuff.
He probably maybe is, but there was definitely a very weird period of like them. They would catch them. They caught Amanda on a mic being like, "Well, Carl works for us," and like in this week commented on that. Like, yeah, I do, but like it's not great to hear your friends kind of refer to you to strangers as like your employee. And like,
there's gonna be a hot mic moment one day, and you guys are gonna say, "I work for you," so just remember that.
We both work for her, so let's
That's
get
actually
that straight right now.
3 times in one episode, Mike.
Listen, who can get people to work for free this much? I am some kind of talented that I never knew.
Yeah.
She has such good snacks.
Oh yeah, I do buy a lot of Ruffles.
Yeah, and Mike likes her boobs.
Yeah, I get
Those
extra.
are his snacks.
I get bonus pay. But now all I can think about is your boobs. What were we talking about?
One reason also though,
Carl,
when we asked that girl out in front of Carl to start hooking up with Lindsay, shit gets real fast. So maybe that was a sabotage effort. Like, I mean, we're gonna be married any second now, so I gotta like do something that's gonna make her not want to be with me.
Pull the ripcord.
Yeah. So Carl is a walking self-saboteur.
He's a walking something.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Yeah, we just need to get to the bottom of the reason why we don't.
Well, I think
Carl
once he gets to the bottom of someone else's bottom, this is all going to start to make sense.
I hope that is it, because that is such, I don't want to say it's such an easy fix. I understand that is that would be a life turned upside down, having to deal with all of that too. But like, that really is like identifying just your sexuality. Like, if you could just do that, your whole life would change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things are starting to make sense. Although
Yeah.
I do feel like he might be actually a bottom, not a top. But
Oh, yeah.
how annoying is it? And I know that they do this because whatever, ratings and hook them for the next episode. We got nothing of the whole preview of like this fight is going to go down. We got nothing between Kyle and Craig.
I had that thought too. It's like and then it makes me think back to all these other seasons and all these other shows. And like, am I missing something? But yeah, there seems to be, with at least Summer House this year, or Southern Charm and Summer House, just a lot of like empty episodes, a lot of teaser episodes, a lot of next week. Oh, but we loved each other. The breakup. Oh, wait, we're not getting it? Oh, you meant next week?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Next week. Oh no, next week? Like, when is this happening? Like, stop dragging me along. Make some more shit happen if you don't have enough stuff to
I do
make happen.
think, in defense of Summer House, we are coming off of a banger season where literally every single episode, it was like, you know, when you like love a band or a musical, like an artist, and they come out with an album and you get it and you listen to it and you're thinking
I can play it all the way through.
Taylor
Yeah.
did it again.
Yeah, she always
Every
does that.
single song is amazing. And then you get like and listen, I think Taylor Swift is amazing, but like that Dead Poets Society album, like that wasn't, every song was not a banger. It was beautiful, but it wasn't. Oh, do you think every song's a banger on that episode?
At her, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
No,
do not
just,
come
you
for
know,
me.
yeah,
I listen to
seriously.
that shit. It would just play and play and play. And
I just thought, comparatively speaking, the one that came before that seemed like every single song was a real banger. Like, anyway. And I just am saying that's the season we had last year with Summer House. And this year it's like, no, it is still a great album because it's Summer House, but some of these episodes are a little snoozy paloozy.
So snoozy. No, I don't know. It's looking. I'm into this summer. I'm into the old school. Like, I feel like we're back to the old school Summer House, which again, for me, is a fantasy fulfillment. Show up, plan the party, load the coolers, invite all the girls. Let's get drunk and say stupid shit and go out. Like, whatever. Like, this is this show to me, right? And that was the Act 5 dinner time fight. Like, every episode like that. Now I'm like, we're skipping episodes and skipping fights, and you're just teasing me with these things. And like, so it's getting, I enjoy that we're back to party Summer House, but I
need a little bit more
little more.
zest, a little more
spice,
seasoning.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, glad
Yeah.
we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm not on your guys.
Oh,
I just thought that whole scene at the dinner table tonight, which is really the cake table because they were just having cake, was such psychological warfare that I was riveted by how it's I knew that was going to happen. And like, I know that like, it wasn't even the fight, wasn't even like the actual event, but like how that whole thing went down. Because we're talking about that we're not seeing this fight between the Kyle and what's his name
I was
until
kind of
next
referencing
week.
the end of the episode where like they started to talk about it, but we
Yeah.
got nothing.
Yeah,
But the
okay,
same thing,
yeah.
it's tied into what you're talking about.
I don't even think the end of the episode, the credits started rolling on Paige and Craig. Like, the teaser for next week
Oh,
was
that's
them
right.
Oh yeah,
being
so
like,
you might
yeah,
not even
you
get
didn't-
it
we
for
didn't
2
get
more weeks.
anything.
God, the way
Yeah,
that they're
right.
going.
No,
That's
it's coming
true,
next
too.
week.
Yeah.
Remember they did this with the JT Venedict like kiss, but like we didn't care about it, but we were like, why do you keep why is this even in a teaser? Because I'm not teased. Like I need more from you to tune. Listen, I'm going to tune in for nothing. But I'm like, don't even include this there. It's an insult. But then you're also not even playing it next week. I think it took 3. I think they were in 3 teasers before that Branzino lunch finally happened. That we were like, and this is it. But anyway, the way that argument started was just like Kyle was never equipped to have to come for Craig by any stretch. Like these are 2 people working on completely different levels. And what sucks about this is that it doesn't take knowing Craig for 5 minutes to know this. So if Kyle was going to come for Craig and try to have like this confrontation with him and whatever, like, you would only need to just like take a beat and even discuss it with your wife the night before and kind of say, okay, plan A is going like this. He's probably not going to like that. So plan B is to do this. Plan C even for Craig. Like at a certain point, Kyle, like stop having, what is this syndrome where you forget everything that ever happened to you? Amnesia about like everything in
I love
life.
it when people forget that word.
I know.
kind of
Makes
funny.
me laugh every fucking time.
You know what I was trying to think of was the movie with Drew Barrymore and Adam
50
Sandler.
First Dates.
50
50
First
Dates.
Dates. It's
So
like
good.
50 First Kyle's like on every show. So yeah.
Do you know they filmed an entirely different ending for that movie?
Yes, we talked about that and we decided
We
that
liked the one they
we
did.
liked
Yeah.
how it worked.
Mike had amnesia about
Yeah.
telling us that. Full circle.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Oh, I love it when people have amnesia about having amnesia.
While we're talking about
Yeah,
amnesia.
well, we're talking about amnesia.
So meta.
But like Kyle's going into it thinking like, I'm just going to bring it up, whatever. Like Jesse is kind of the one that instigates it, but like, I'm sure Kyle was, because Kyle wanted to have it that night. And so Kyle says, you know, he's probably thinking, I'm just going to bring it up. Easy breezy, bro. It's about the friendship. This isn't a gotcha moment, as if you could gotcha Craig anything. Kyle, that's cute to think like Kyle's going to have a gotcha. That's like his life dream, probably. It
I mean,
never,
sure,
worked
but
out.
also like if you had watched any Southern Charm for the last 10 episodes, you were probably like, "Oh, I gotta be careful, Craig, and not get him because his business. You can't drink, and he doesn't want to talk to me because you can't gotcha on can't like."
Yeah.
I'm totally buying that comment from Kyle, being like, "I'm not trying to fucking spoil your rep. I just want to talk to you about why you're trying to spoil mine."
Well,
My little tiny rep
that is a far fetch, because he's been trying to spoil his rep all year. And I'll post the videos and pray that YouTube doesn't kick him off again. And I'll leave links in the description to the videos if they don't make it, like I did on this last episode. He went into that thinking, I'm just going to have this and like keep it in a controlled setting, be cool, calm, and whatever. And like Craig just like, Kyle thinks like, oh, I want to have this conversation. This is my house. He's filming on my show. So I'm going to be the dictator of the dinner table. And it literally took Craig half a second to go, nope, not doing that.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah. The only common thing that these guys have is that they're both like trying to be alphas and not gonna, like, they don't want anyone telling them what to do. And they want to, Paige and Amanda actually say, like, both of these guys not only want you to hear everything that they're going to say, but believe everything they're going to say and like be on their side about it, like whatever it was.
They both need to not only be right, they need you to believe that they're right.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
like really show your loyalty to them by backing them in a full court press kind of way.
Yes, exactly. So Craig rebuts that immediately and then kind of gets up. Craig is a mastermind of like maneuvering. I swear to God, like I have money on it that he knew that Kyle was going to push back a few times. And he had that like, well, it is kind of weird because you've asked me 3 times, or I've asked 3 times now to do something that you will not agree to, which immediately puts Kyle in the position of oh God, now I look like I'm the petulant child who's pushing for my way per usual, because Craig just knows this guy because his brain just works different. Kyle tries to be assertive one time. He tries to manhandle Craig, and he's like, no, we'll have it tonight. If you're going to come and say that, then you need to like you can't drop that with one.
No, you got to put the pedal to the metal and
we're having
floor it into argumentville. Yeah,
exactly. And if he wasn't going to if he wasn't going to be able to pull him off to the side, he needed to start having it right then and there as Craig's walking away, and use words that if like you just took a minute to come up with, to know that like Craig would have a really hard time not responding to this. So like it just takes a little ninjaing, and Kyle just isn't equipped. All he had to say was, listen, I would love to not do this at all, but like this is my wife's birthday weekend. Carl over here put a lot of money and time into the worst theme party that you're ever going to see. Thanks, Carl.
It was the worst theme. I agree.
Yeah. And so as much as I'd love to just like avoid this whole thing, I just want to put my wife and the rest of the house first, their interests first. And like, I just want to tell you, I was kind of bummed about how you kind of went about this deal. I would like to know like what happened to make you think you needed to maneuver like that. I feel a little hurt about it. I feel misled. And I just want to come to some understanding and resolves and get back to the friendship, like say something so that like would just make it where even if Craig continued to walk out the door and even blow him off for the rest of the weekend and never have it, we would be left of a cool, calm, and collected Kyle just trying to have a reasonable conversation and like trying to put his wife first, and the rest of that, they don't need to be involved in this. Let's get it out of the way, We would have all been like, Kyle,
hats off to you, sir.
Nice work. You said what you needed to say. There's a concept I feel like we start to learn in kindergarten, and it's just basically like, don't, just because the guy next to you is throwing spit, is doing spit wads, doesn't mean you have to. Like, move through life how you want to, and don't let the way that other people move through life affect you. Like, just do what you were going to do regardless. It doesn't matter. Like, keep your blinders on. And he's never really learned how to.
He's too emotional.
He
lets his emotions get the best of him. It's why I've said it before about him. And I like Kyle. I'm not on a Kyle hating team. he could be so right, but his execution is so wrong,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter. You've
And so-
lost the argument.
Yeah. And so where does that leave Kyle? His wife has to reprimand him like clockwork every time. Every time. It's Amanda being like, you'll do it tomorrow. Sit down. All right.
I was
quiet
actually proud of
down."
him that she said it that one time
Yeah.
and he did shut up.
Yeah. Well, I feel like she said it. You'll do it tomorrow. She says
Or I
it,
mean,
he'll do
like
it tomorrow.
he normally blows past her being like, stop, Amanda, you don't even
Oh,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But then he does do like a mini storm out. And now you got Kyle in the backyard by himself, pacing, grumbling things under his breath. Well, this motherfucker's like, with a night vision security camera footage, just like looking like crazy, like just junior high petulant brat Kyle. That he just continues to show this, and then but what was? I hope that he rewatches this, because if the camera goes to Craig and it sits on him for a second, and he is watching him walk out with a look on his face that says, God, that was too easy. Like he's looking at, like, it's smug. It's like, there it is. And Craig's got kind of a smug look about him naturally. Like he has like resting bitch face, but like resting smug face kind of,
yeah.
But like, I just thought that was some like really great, like, cinematography of like, we're going to catch this, like this walkout and then go back to Craig being like, door shut. Now
That was easier than I thought.
yeah, that was 2 minutes. God, I really thought this was going to be like a 7-minute thing that I was going to have to plan because he has a schedule. Anyway, you hated all of that.
I don't hate it. I just think that I don't disagree with any of that.
You had
but
something really good to say last night about like bully, like levels of bully.
What was it?
You just said like, because I also have a screenshot of Kyle being like, I can't believe it. And so I just immediately say, God, he's such a child. Look at him. He can't believe that he's not getting to do what he wants right now. And you go, I said, he's like a 12-year-old. And you said, he's a 12-year-old fighting with a 14-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah, that's actually
so like
totally right.
That's
Craig,
just
but
like
that
a
was a
one-
diss on Craig. Like
No, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, now I remember. What my point is like, is Kyle's a 12-year-old and Craig's a 14-and-a-half-year-old.
Yeah, 14 and a half.
Picking on the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, Craig, fuck off, dude. Like, you're 14-and-a-half. Go play with the big boys
But
now.
it's so easy.
Yeah,
Also
it's like
not-
so like pick on somebody your own size. I don't disagree with any of that stuff. I just I got the vibe too that like, and even Craig said it and they put it in. So like nothing's in these shows for no reason,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
that doesn't happen. If you heard it, something's going to happen, has happened, will pan out later. Like nothing happens for no reason. And when Kyle and Amanda got there and the whole birthday, whatever, Craig was in the living room by himself and had said something of like, oh, you're just going to shut me out or you're just going to leave me hanging or something like that. And nobody, with the exception of Jesse, kind of being like, wait, did I miss the makeup? Are they cool now?
Yeah.
And then he said, nobody talks to Craig. Nobody really greets him other than Sierra. I don't think people fucking like Craig,
I know.
dude.
Oh my God.
I think like the people
either.
around, everyone on his own show spent the whole summer shitting on
But
him.
this is why.
Sorry, Mrs. Sheiks.
Your credit. Is this the death rattle? Like, are we
That's what
about?
she's saying. She
That's-
thinks Craig's on his way, walking the Green Mile.
That's
man,
what I'm
and I
saying.
don't
She
disagree.
said, like, and I
they
don't.
I
almost
think him and
agree. It's
Paige
like they
is
gave
going to
him
start getting real content. Like in real life, he's going to
Yes.
start getting super contentious.
Yeah.
Shit's going to go down.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
No, I know. Me too. And I'm telling you, I still hold to my original. I think this is tried and true. Get a girlfriend. I'm telling you, this is the only way to avoid them just decimating you and having no regard. Get a celebrity girlfriend.
Or any girlfriend. Doesn't have to be a celebrity.
Yes, but it matters because if you've got some nobody that no one's ever heard of before, we don't care about that. There's just some leverage there. Paige was she's a big Bravo celebrity, you know? So like
They're called Bravo celebrities,
I know,
Natalie.
I know.
Okay.
So
Show
I
some
think that like
respect.
the higher your clout is, like the more of a name you are, I definitely think it makes a difference.
No, I'm not saying that. Yes, I agree with you. I'm just saying, even if it was like Madison before she was Madison,
Yeah.
if he came in with some like bombshell, beautiful, great personality, and all of a sudden it's like when he started dating Naomi, quite frankly, like here's this beautiful French girl who lives in wherever the hell they are, not
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Charleston.
Thank you, Charleston.
Yeah.
So at any rate, I think you're right. Get in a relationship, and I just think if you pick a great girl,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. And then yes, if it's a celebrity chick, then these are bonus points.
Yeah.
Then you're really gonna be hitting on all 6 cylinders.
Yeah. You've just got more like, fuck with me, I dare you.
Do
And
we-
then you'll be missing old, what's her name? You know, whoever.
The package deal.
Yeah. Kyle like says that he like calls what happened to him. He calls what Craig did like super shady. He has another moment where he says that what he did, that he really has like come after him and done him dirty, or like, what was it? It was like
really shady operation. And then, you know, I think Craig had already signed the deal when he confronted me. And then he claimed that he didn't know I have a spritz. He thought I just have sparkling hard teas. And I'm like, bro, he's had all these products.
Right.
So don't tell me you thought we were just a tea company. Someone says, Kyle, it's just business. That's to basically justify something they did that was kind of whack.
Right.
It really rubbed me the wrong way.
You actually look upset.
Well, look, he has a reputation of lying, and he lied to me. So.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Curtis B wants to know if there's any bad blood between you and Craig since he recently invested in a direct competitor of Loverboy.
There's really no bad blood because I think this is being blown out of proportion. I don't really think there was an investment, and it seems like all the press
he's
is
the
referencing
front
me.
person for it.
Right. I mean,
Okay, well,
Well, who has a better drink?
I mean, just look at the numbers. It's public information. We sell about
Boom.
5 times more spritz. So.
Boom.
okay. 5 times more spritz.
And we're not even a spritz company. We're
You heard
that's
it
like
here
our
first. They're not
ancillary
Spritz
product.
Company.
Look, I wish him the best, but it was the way he handled it, and we don't have time to get into it, what really rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm just trying to take the high road.
Love that.
Okay. Well, you actually, I mean, I have to say, you actually look upset.
Well, look, he has a reputation of lying, and he lied to me. So.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
no one would even know about any of this had you not told all of us. And Kyle, again, I've talked about posting videos they have to do with this, has gone on, he has taken every opportunity to say every shitty thing about Craig, to constantly bring up his lying, constantly bring up that like he's just the face of a company. He doesn't really know about the day-to-day. He's got a team of people that do whatever for him. And he'll be given chances. Like Amanda will be in the interviews with him and say like, I think you're supposed to, the question was, what's a nice thing you could say about Craig's business? And then finally, like after Kyle just is like, cannot say anything, only just saying horrible things, Amanda goes, he's really great at, like, it was just such a like obvious awkward moment, and everyone on the panel is like laughing because like Kyle could not find a nice thing to say about him.
Kyle Cook, name one way in which Craig is a more savvy businessman than you.
He doesn't actually run his own business. Hey, he gets to like do his thing.
Okay.
I'm jealous of that.
Okay. We played a shady game earlier in the show, and I asked Kyle to say something nice about Craig as a businessman. His response has caused quite a bit of discord between he and his wife, and he is also unhappy with his response. So I would like to give him the opportunity to either explain what he meant or say what you would like to say.
This is that now you guys know it's live. I had no idea what the question was. I was sipping my drink. I'm like, oh, okay. What I meant, I'm a sole founder. I am envious that he has business partners that like help him run his business. And
Say something nice about the way Craig runs his business.
No. Look, ultimately, it's all about our friendship. And so, like, I know we had our issues, and you'll see that on Summer House. We had a great combo. We put it behind us. What I meant is that I'm kind of envious that, you know, he doesn't have all of the stress on his back because he has business partners. That makes him a savvy businessman.
Expanded his business to home, from pillows to aprons to he's doing all the things. He has pots and pans, he has mugs, he's crushing it. That's how you answer.
Okay, I just want to check in with Sheppy to see how is this going to land with Craig?
How does what?
How is this going to land with Craig?
I think Craig's in a good place right now. I don't think, like, if you're successful, forget everybody, you know? Or, I mean, not, you know, don't listen to the voices. Just continue on the path, yeah.
Okay, right.
No offense, no offense.
Look, I keep getting put on the spot by this fine gentleman.
You should be upset. If
I'm
you're,
not. I was just like, I don't know what to say. I was like,
Okay,
well,
all right, less words, less words.
As far as like the public goes, not only will we not know about any of this besides you, but you are actually the one who has come for him big time. And when Craig says at the end, I'm going to have this conversation on when I want to have it, because he thinks it's going to be a short conversation. I don't want it to be. I also don't think it will be. And I also don't think that Kyle knows how serious this is. And I thought about that. And Craig is going to have a big upper hand. Like, he's going to have a lot to say in this conversation that I wasn't really thinking of before. That is just way more about, like I said, you're the one that brought all this up, and then you dragged me. Like, I am the face, just a pretty face, but still the face of $100 million company. You're out there like defaming me. That really is much more hurtful than like whatever Kyle thinks that Craig did to him. The thing where he says that what he did was super shady, I have a really hard time understanding how a guy that's 40 something years old still doesn't understand that, like, we are friends. We did not. It'd be one thing if Kyle and Craig like came up with a product together, and like we're about to launch this company, launch this product, and then like the day before launch, Craig announces the same product launched with like another company. Like, this is your company, Kyle. You make all your decisions. You know how to market it. You make decisions on how to do the PR for it, where to produce it, how to get it out, like whatever. Your deal with Bravo, I'm sure like Craig was not involved in any of this. If you look at the way that Craig handles all of his business and then the way that Kyle does his, why would Kyle ever think that this would be like they wouldn't even be good in business together? Like, they run, like, even just the word lover boy, like, that is like,
But Kyle's not thinking about that.
No, he's not thinking about that. But that's what I'm saying. It's the mentality of like, would it have been great if Craig came in and was like super clear with his words of like, I just came to let you know, a business opportunity has presented itself. After much thought and much regard for my business partners, my current business partners and our financial goals, I have decided that this is the best thing for me to do. Like, yeah, I'm sure that would have been great. But I still don't think, even if he was as clear as day like that Kyle would have left that meeting feeling any less slighted than he does. Because Kyle is in the mentality of like, friends before anything. But like, that's not how you run a business.
This is what's happening with Kyle. Kyle has put every single part of himself and all of his money into a company that's not successful yet.
Yeah.
So he is so tired. He is running on fumes. He is trying to make fetch happen. And then he has a friend who's super successful right now. They are literally like ascending and descending at the exact same time in opposing directions, obviously. And everything is personal to Kyle. When you're down in the dumps, when someone just breaks up with you, and let's just say you were dating an athlete and this guy broke up with you, Natalie, and this guy played baseball, and then I went to a football game, and you're like, how dare you? And I'm like, it's a football game.
Yeah.
Any sports, you don't give any of the money because you're so fragile and in such a tender place and so upset, and maybe not even logically so.
Yeah.
But that's where Kyle's at. And then Craig, for him, it's like he probably wrote them a $25,000 check, right? Which, as you gain more money, yes, of course, I would love for someone to write me a $25,000 check. It's 2 B's, 1 T, abby. But for him, it's like, listen, you're either going to invest that somewhere or you're going to you're going to pay that to Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
And so for him, it's like, what's the big deal? I'm spreading a little bit of money out here, a little bit of money out there because he has so much.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares? It's like when you don't have a lot of money and you treat yourself to Postmates and the meal is bad, it will ruin your entire day.
Yeah,
because you're like, no, this was my treat. Everything in my life sucks right now and this needed to be good.
Yeah.
And then if you have all this money in the world and you get a bad Postmates, you just order another Postmates.
Yeah.
And
Or it's like
Kyle-
when you're on a diet. This is my one cheat day. Why would you ruin my entire week? I wait 6 days for this to come.
Yes, and that's Kyle right now.
Yeah.
And because Craig is whistling out his asshole and money is coming and he's got more fame than he ever has had before and all this stuff, they could not be in more different places. And that's why Kyle's overly sensitive about all of this.
And Craig is not having any empathy for that.
Zero.
He's literally just looking at it so black and white, because all Craig would really need to say is like the same thing I said, we've just, after much thought, this is just the better deal for my family and my business partners who have put everything into me. Like I owe them that kind of like
his business partners have
consideration.
nothing to do with this, though. It's literally just
He doesn't want to get into business with Kyle.
he just
Who
wants,
would?
He's like, listen, he's like, I saw this company. I also don't really like getting into business with friends. I saw this company. It spoke to me. I gave him 25 grand.
Yeah.
That's it. It has nothing
Yeah.
to do with sewing down south. This is the thing. If they both could bend a little bit, if Craig could have a little bit of empathy for where Kyle's at, and if Kyle could realize like it's not personal, it feels personal because I'm struggling like a motherfucker right now.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Because if Kyle was slaying and Loverboy was doing amazing and they were making, $20 million a year or whatever it is, that would make him happy. He wouldn't care that Craig, like maybe a little bit.
No. And I was trying to
he
think,
wouldn't
like,
really care.
would Kyle help Craig out in this situation? I don't know if he would, but if he did, he would just be doing it so he could kind of be like, I just throw him a bone. That's what friends do. Like he would be publicizing it. He'd be letting everyone know that he kicked him some money. I really believe in this kid. He would be saying words like kid or attaboy just to like show the level of who's in charge here. And Craig could just simply say something like, listen, I'm doing this other thing. While I can't promote your products, I can promote you as a great friend. And like, if I can help with any of that, like talk about you. And
let's do a collaboration.
What a hard
let's do
worker
a
you
co-event.
are. And like, but like
Co-sponsored
Craig's
event.
doesn't have any of that in him. And Kyle doesn't have any wisdom. Just the word Loverboy. And I love that business name. But like everything that Craig is his whole like agenda of like what he's trying to, his persona, whatever he's trying to put out there, it's like the opposite. Like Loverboy is like kind of a ladies' man, cheeky,
fun,
heartbreaker, free and wild, summer party,
no ties,
like party centric. Let's be by the pool to Juicy Fruit commercial, but in a can. And so it just like Kyle just didn't think about any of this. Like none of you're taking it personally. It could have been handled better. But this was never a match. You should never be in business together. It was the last person you should have asked or expected.
Well, lucky
to
for
be.
both of them, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I loved it when Amanda was like, I'm old as fuck, not as old as Kyle. Because I always say to Mike, no matter how old I am, you'll be always so much older than me.
So much.
You'll always be in a decade, like because you're 6+ years.
Well, you add the plus.
But like
Just being prudent.
yeah. I'm just trying to be accurate. I'm trying to speak. Craig's taught me a lot. Speak your words.
Don't get
avoid
silly
some trouble down the
because
line.
it's actually 5+. A check on there.
Okay, we don't need to.
Oh,
we don't
no,
need to
now
mention
it's not
You should have just been happy
Yeah,
with 6,
come on.
Natalie.
Split hairs
Back to
on me.
Kyle
I've got
and
enough
Amanda.
split ends.
Yeah.
I need to split hairs. But you will always be like in a decade, for like half of a decade. You'll be in like a 40, a 50, a 60, or whatever for like 6 years that I won't. Like there'll be like 6.
Also, what's so great about dating older guys is that their eyes go before, like, as you're going, like, as maybe there's like a little wrinkle or whatever, so they don't see it. Like
My mom and her stepdad got LASIK, not recent, but like when they got it 5-6 years ago or whatever. My mom said that they both came home and like that next day when like everything was back, they just were like looking at each other going, oh God, that's not what I thought.
That's amazing.
They both look great, but I'm
They
just
do look
saying,
great.
like, if you thought something else, that was a fun surprise on day 2. When Emerald says to Gabby, we're going to the gym, like, you sure you don't want to come? And she's like, I would rather eat that ranch off the floor. And I felt that.
I like Gabby.
Yeah, I really like Gabby.
Yeah.
She never really gets too personal. So I don't know if anyone's ever going to have an issue with that. But like every time she talks, I love everything she says.
Same.
And
She did get personal on other seasons. Like we met her parents.
Yeah.
We met her sister. She was looking for a job. She was talking about how hard it was for her to find a new job because she didn't really know where she wanted to kind of build a career because she got fired or like got let go of or had to quit her dream job. So she's like, my dream job turned out not to be my dream. And now I don't know what to dream anymore. I think and I said this before, I think where she's getting not the short end of the stick, but where we're not as invested in her as the other girls is because she befriended the most selfish person in the house. So Lindsay's out for Lindsay. She's not out for their storyline together.
Yeah.
Where Amanda, Paige, Sierra, they travel as a pack. They back each other as a pack. They're in the after show as a pack.
Yeah.
Gabby didn't get in with them. So now she's kind of left out to dry
Yeah.
as a solo bird.
No, that's true. She's in there with what's her name? Fun Buns.
Yeah, which listen, I love, shake them if you got them. When are we going to see her though in any, like, what do you wear in the winter? And I get it.
Wasn't Gabby also wearing like a wraparound, like it looked like, remember those bracelets she used to slap it on?
Slap bracelets.
I feel like she was wearing that, but it was a top.
The green.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. For some reason, it just doesn't. I'm not a fan of that kind of a fashion statement.
No, I feel like somebody said, what is this business at the beach? Or something, because she had on like a blazer, but then the bikini top.
Correct. It was.
Okay. Comments?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Oh, I did want to tell Nettie real quick. She said, I do not like judgmental Danielle. She's like a cloud that brings the shade for sure. Pissed me off because my mom was a single mom and she made that sound beneath her. Listen, Nettie, I got a lot of problems with Danielle, but Danielle was actually raised by a single mother and she uses it as like a point of pride all the time. And when she, like you can really see it when she talks about her mom. So I think she was just being judgmental towards Lindsay. I think she actually rides super hard for single moms. Because when she had the launch party for Dawn, she made this whole moment of like, Mom, this is specifically all, this entire night is just for you.
Yeah.
Like, I just want you to be proud. I love you so much. So we could like dislike her for 99 reasons, but that ain't one.
She just gets weird. Lindsay is like the center of her universe, no matter whether she's out of it or in it. She can't seem to stop reacting, and maybe that's her way of trying to get back on the show. Like maybe that's her way in. Like that's what she knows. That's how she knows that carried her for however long. Like I feel like when people leave the show, they want back on.
What 100%? Of course.
Yeah. So like she's not really going after single mom. That's just something that, Lindsay's doing this, Lindsay's doing that. Okay,
But I do think she's had it up to here.
Oh, yeah.
With Lindsay. The rose-colored glasses are off.
But you do see that like everything she does is centered around Lindsay, no matter whether it's in the circle or outside of the circle.
Because that's her only in.
That's what exactly. That's what I mean. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm sure she would love it if she never had to see Lindsay again. But yeah, once Lindsay comes back to her real self, it would be great if there was a Danielle there to keep throwing these kinds of things at her. Right now, it's just bad timing.
Yeah, ill time.
Yeah.
MicMac24 said Heather McDonald is always wrong with her prediction. So I just wanted to throw that out there because we were talking about her saying Andy Cohen might want out. So hopefully this follows suit.
No, I'm
like, she's wrong.
I'm banking on that.
Same here.
Somebody said, go ahead.
Or no, I think you're going to say the same thing, except that they said he wanted to leave to do a political show.
Oh, I saw
Is
that.
that what you're going to say?
I just feel like, why now? Like we've been in the same political sort of arena for a bit now. Like, why would Andy leave everything to go and do something political now?
Just
No,
I agree, because I think actually now more so than ever, people have just had it up to their eyeballs with politics.
Yeah.
And like I know people that were die hard politicos.
I was die hard,
And they're like,
now
I'm turning
you guys
this off.
figure it out.
Yeah, I'm done. On both sides, like from everyone. I've heard it from
1000%.
everyone
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, I've got my favorites, but even they're on my shit list currently. So, I'm not letting that world, like, I'm not going to spin, or I'm not going to Danielle around that Lindsay, I'm just like, you guys figure it out. You guys are paid the big bucks, and I'm just a peon.
Rebecca Krakow finds annoying. I think it's kind of funny. It's annoying, but it's also funny to me. I can't imagine a world in Bravo without Andy. Totally agree.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with Andy is sometimes it seems like he hasn't watched the shows like he used to. And I think that's funny.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
they're like,
totally.
oh, so-and-so and so-and-so. He's like, oh, did that happen? You guys said that.
Or like bringing up
They're
something
like, yeah,
from
it was
last
only in the
season,
finale,
and they're
or-
like, we haven't been together since
Right,
last
totally.
season.
I think that's amusing.
I knew that.
Yeah, it's totally
But I was trying to think of like just say that we were able to do this show for until we just keeled over. Like the amount of time that I spend dissecting all of these morons' lives, like how long is that sustainable? Like how long do I keep putting this much work into like a reality star's life and like their psyche and why they're doing all the things they're doing and what's really happening? Like I'm just like, I get at a certain point, everybody kind of starts phoning it in, and I just wonder what kind of like shelf life I have for shelf life's not the right
Well,
word.
hopefully
but like,
it's long enough for us to get paid.
no. I know, but I was just like trying to put myself in Andy's shoes of doing this kind of work for however long. It's all very silly, like at the end of the day, it's not curing cancer. It's doing many things for
many people.
Many people.
Many.
But like I could see like what I wonder if like there's ever just been like a moment at a reunion or a moment with a housewife where he was just like, what is my life?
100%.
Like what is happening? I'm not getting in the mud with these assholes again for another season. Oh, 4 more of them for another like 4 shows, 4 sets of them. Oh my God. Like, I just wonder how, like, if he's just having a moment. I think, just have a cocktail, Andy.
I don't even think he said any of this. I think someone just made a comment off the cuff, and now we're all spinning ourselves into a tizzy like idiots.
Yeah.
I think he's coming back with a bigger contract and he's fine.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
This is something we kind of talked about tonight, just how Kyle used to treat Carl when they worked together. This is Lady Revival Studio said, Craig saw how Kyle guilted Carl constantly when he worked with him. I think Craig wanted to avoid the drama. I agree. And Joan Greco also agrees.
I agree as well with that.
We all agree.
I think that same person had said something about Paige was Lady Revival Studio. Paige was the one who hung her hat on Craig to self-promote. I hear you. I feel like that relationship was mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
I don't think one kind of leaned on the other's fame more than the other, especially when I heard in the after show when I don't know if it was Paige. I think one of her girls said it for her when she was like, yeah, and she went to Sewing Down South to do appearances and all this stuff.
I was trying to remember who said that. I can't remember because I don't think it was Paige.
I think it was Amanda.
But it might have even been one of the guys that was like, I saw her down at doing meet and greets.
It was definitely one of the girls.
Okay,
because it was in that little pod.
Yeah.
Tripod they were talking in. But I think they mutually benefited off each other's success. I don't think.
No, I really don't think that there's one that could be doing better. I think that maybe Craig is doing better from Paige solely because, and this is after me giving my whole, like, I don't lean into like the gender politics of it all, but like I think that, men generally have bigger investors and big people come to them with business ideas and are going to back just like, and we're getting there. We're good. It's a slow roll.
We're not really getting there. Literally, it's like 4% of all female founded businesses get funded.
I'm just trying to say, I'm not trying to like pick a fight.
I wish we were getting there
about like gender roles and whatever. But like, I think that Paige cleaned Craig up so much that made him so much more attractive to investors that like were like, and the deals are bigger and the money's bigger and the confidence is bigger. And it just, so I think probably if you're putting dollars and cents next to each other, it's like very likely that Craig benefited more.
Well, and also
from.
just that sheer point that she helped him. He's not sober, but have a healthier relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
And not be this crazy,
Yeah.
outlandish, kind of nasty dude when he gets drunk on national television.
Yeah.
Like when they flash back, and it wasn't that many seasons ago, it was like 3 seasons ago when he's yelling at Amanda in Winter House.
know.
Like, you're not that likable. People aren't investing millions, tens of millions of dollars
Exactly.
into that guy. Who they are investing tens of millions of dollars into is the guy that Paige
produced.
helped you
craft.
turn yourself
Yeah.
into.
Yeah. Totally.
And like he said, listen, him getting like to a healthy place with drugs and alcohol, that's on him.
Yeah.
He did that. You cannot get sober for someone else. He said it in one of his interviews in Southern Charm. But she was the number one reason, because he's like, I didn't want to lose her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that was a bit. So I think I might disagree with the Lady Revival Studio on that.
Yeah.
Respectfully disagree.
Truth for Peace for Freedom says, I have conflicting feelings about Craig. When he tells us his biological clock is ticking, my heart melts for him. But after saving Vanita's life after she almost drowned in the pool, he's asked if he's ever been a lifeguard. He responds so strangely. He says he can't remember. That's a damn lie. The only way someone can't remember if they used to work as a lifeguard is if they have dementia. Craig is a fibber. I do believe that his stock will go down if it's believed that JT did not call Miss Patricia a B. The peak of Craig's public perception happened when he rented the flamingos in the Bahamas for everyone to enjoy, but his lies are ruining his reputation. It's like he can't help himself. He lies about the stupidest things. And this was a week ago, so I'm still in my transformation, so a week ago when I read this, never mind, it was a day ago. God, time flies. Fuck. I'm not joking. This felt like several days ago. And I'm like, I hate that I think that you're on to something, because it's just, when you've been Team Craig I wasn't Team Craig. I was Team both of them. I thought I just wanted them, those crazy kids, to work it out.
Same.
Like that's what it was. It wasn't about one over the other. But I did always kind of feel a little bit like, Paige, come on, man, just, he's worth the squeeze. That's what I kind of was coming from that. So if there was like but it was bouncing. It was never quite, it never stayed, but it was, I always did want Paige to just give him a little extra room to be a dumb dude, because that dudes be dumb, you gotta find one that's not dumb, maybe less dumb, but still dumb.
There was someone, Jaybird444 said, LOL, the girl with the blanket. That's me. Is just a West hater. Stop trying to deny it. And we've been talking about this. It's all love. However, I want to be very clear about this. The reason I don't hate West, it's the exact opposite. I fell so madly in love with West that's why I'm so angry with him.
Yeah.
And I just need an out and out, solid, thoughtful apology.
Yeah.
And then you can stop hugging the cactus. And I did read the article, and my feelings remain the same.
It's like going through some, like sometimes I think that like when couples have like arguments that last forever and ever and ever, it's because like one of them is just feeling like, if you don't see that you did this wrong, then I either didn't explain it correctly, or
we have to break up.
Worse, we have totally different values. And like, I cannot build a life with someone who thinks that what happened is going to be okay going forward. Because if you don't ever come to an agreement on like, this is right and this is wrong, a lot of the time, like some people can think like, how can I know it's not going to happen again then? Because like, in fact, I'm probably welcoming it to happen again, because you've made it clear that you don't think that this was a bad thing. And I've been clear to tell you, I absolutely am not okay with that. So it's not like I need West to be wrong. I like West too much to like, I can't like him this much. I'm uncomfortable with my level of like for West, knowing that he doesn't think that it was ever worth a sincere apology and admission of like, I did you wrong. I can't like you this much. And so it makes me upset. And so if you could just even lie at this point and say, then I would let me sleep better and know, okay, I can move forward with Wes. Because I think America wants to move forward with Wes. But it's just that little thing that like I think happens in many relationships. And it's because I spy because I care.
Thank you very much. And that's a wrap. Like and subscribe. When I've gotten the pig quoted back to me, I know I've done something right.
What is when Bree said, "I don't hate you. I just don't know why you're here"? Who
I
are
don't
you guys
know.
talking about?
Oh, I said that about Emerald.
Oh
yeah, that is very funny.
Like I didn't even realize it was funny in the moment, but yeah, like I don't hate you. I just don't know why you're here. And I didn't see Emerald come home with anyone new today.
He didn't. They said that. They were like, "Whoa, are you okay?"
But I think and then I remember them quoting his ratio, like his stats.
Yeah.
You're 2 for 3 or something like that. And I
still
think
batting 500.
Yeah. Well, but I think I heard in the scenes from the next, I think it says that he brings home 2 girls. So I think now he's 4 for 3 because it's the same weekend.
Right. It's like maybe
he will be 4 for
he didn't
3.
get on base this past weekend, but then he hit a grand slam next weekend.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. Friday night he went out, didn't hook up with anyone, but the party is Saturday, and then we're going to see the continuation of Saturday next week. So he really will not have missed a weekend. He will actually have doubled in one weekend. I do have to say though, because I've been so hard on him, and I don't feel bad about that, but I did enjoy some of his conversation this week, and I couldn't even tell you what it was, but just like, maybe it was even that like he stayed up and cleaned the kitchen after Jesse kicked the chairs over and everyone just like stumbled off to bed.
I'm always surprised at who stays up. And cleans. Yeah.
And but also it makes me start wondering, like, is it what is it when you've been here?
Is there a pecking order of like okay, I'm senior, I'm not doing this, you're a newbie.
Yeah. And so like that's just what
new boots cleans.
Yeah. Because I had also kind of thought that like probably by this time, like if I'm 10 seasons in and I'm still on, I've got my agent saying we want a house cleaner. A housekeeper to come in on Saturday morning and clean up everything for like, we're not cleaning before we leave anymore. Like but I do go back and forth with that because I understand it's part of the show, and having a share house is like all the responsibilities of like what it means to have a share house. So I understand that could be a thing, but also I don't think anyone in a share house in the Hamptons is cleaning their own house.
Well, no, they have a housekeeper when they leave. So they come back to a housekeeper to clean house, but it's just while they're all there, they don't.
So they probably don't have one normally on Saturdays because that would be taking away some drama. Because
but also it takes
now
away
you
so
can
much.
get in a fight with what is all this shit in here. But I haven't seen them argue about cleaning this house in so many seasons. But it was like I think it was like what spurred like the big fallout with Hannah and Kyle was that Hannah was never taking the trash out.
But that's because they were there all summer because it was COVID.
Yeah.
That's the only time they fought about things being dirty.
Yeah.
And they couldn't have a housekeeper even if it wasn't
they
taking...
couldn't have anybody come in on COVID. They would have...
Yes, but I just mean in general because there's no time. That's like a 6,000 square foot house. What is everyone just going to leave so the cleaning crew can come in? Like it just wouldn't make sense.
No, I know.
We need to. We only have really 2 nights and 2 days with them. Like we need to capitalize on all of it.
I'm with you, but I would still, if I'm Lindsay and I'm like renegotiating my deal for the coming up season, I would be like, there's someone needs to come clean up after those parties. I cannot pick up 10,000 K cups again.
They might have a little bit of help, like outside or something like that. But
yeah. Okay, wait.
Because someone comes and strikes the pirate's booty.
Martin Conme. Love your show. Deep dives full of prescient insight. Regarding the Paige Craig breakup, I keep going back to the scene where she claims Craig texted other women. Same. Craig was clearly crushing the PR post-breakup. Shooting that scene and unleashing the summer house dog smacks of desperation. I have always enjoyed Paige, and she was clearly good for Craig, but now I find her manipulative, and Miss Patricia nailed it. She led Craig on, and it was mean. The first half of this text, I am like, get out of my brain. Like, all that. I think that where she's at now is I think that she has gotten kind of like, yes, Craig nailed that breakup so hard, and like he kept quiet for like the perfect amount of time. So when he did speak, it was like just slowly kind of trickled out. It was never like someone that you felt was like dying to get on the microphone and tell America.
He didn't
like
do a
how,
1 hour one-on-one
Yeah.
with Andy airing all their dirty
Exactly.
laundry.
Yeah, it was very like thought out, planned. I think we joked that he probably had like workshopped it with a team of people. I think that Paige is likely reacting not as well as he is, and she's to the fact that he's doing so well, and she probably feels that she has protected him for here and there. If we are to believe that that he did text girls, which again I need the proof. I do. I don't see Craig going outside of a relationship. I think Craig's many things. I think he's like a serial monog.
What are 3 qualities about Craig that make him a catch?
Jesus, 3, huh?
Yeah, 3.
Well, he's very loyal, and he's not going to cheat on you. I mean, ever. He's like a monk.
It shouldn't take a monk to not cheat, but keep going.
And he's reliable, and you know what you're going to get. He's not going to do anything. And right now, he's like in a really good place. Personally, professionally, so I guess he's a catch. All right.
Okay, he's a catch.
Like I think he enjoys being in relationships, and I also think he held Paige on high. I don't really entertain that he stepped out or he was like trying to hook up with other girls.
But do you think she could have just been referencing before they were exclusive or whatever?
Yeah, maybe.
He was dating around.
But then that's messy then, because the way that she says it sounds like it happened while they were in a committed relationship. And I
have to see the full scene before I make a judgment call on it.
Did you not see that?
No, but it was just
it's just like scenes from the
so
next.
I don't
That's
know
right.
if she said, it seems like it's the last episode of the season. And she could have before that said, and I should have known better because when we first started dating, like, I don't know what the whole context of it is.
Yeah, I totally forgot that we hadn't actually seen that yet. But when Miss Patricia says, I think that she was mean to him and let him on, like, I just don't agree.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think that she was super supportive and helpful. And by the time that things got weird, things were weird already. And by the time they were taking jabs at each other, things had already started to fall apart. And like at that point, you can't really that's just the demise of a relationship.
Yeah.
And that's when everything gets ugly and gross and regretful.
And I don't think she wanted the outcome to be what it was. And that's why it's like, obviously, maybe in hindsight, she's like, no, I'm glad we didn't get married or whatever. But I think in the moment she was genuinely trying to fight for the relationship.
Yes.
So I think when she said to him, no, I do want to marry you. I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be with you. I do think she was being truthful when she said all that.
Yeah. Also, I like Miss Patricia, but I definitely think that she holds her boys in real high regard.
110%.
The fact that she has a boys' dinner that no girls are ever invited to, but like, and I could be wrong. She could have had a girls' dinner that I just don't remember. Maybe she even did have one, but it's certainly not an annual event that happens. It's always the boys, and she will always stand up for her boys and love that for her. But like, I'm not taking what she has to say about someone like Paige.
It's biased.
Who lives a wildly different lifestyle than any other women in Charleston. So yeah, it's biased.
It's just a biased comment.
Yeah. And good for them that they've got a big fan in Miss P.
Yeah, and it can be. She can be part of the boys' club. She's a boy mom.
Yeah.
She grew up in a different time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the fact still remains she's definitely biased towards the guys. And I like her.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No, she's a
facts.
hoot. She's a hoot and a holler.
Oh my God, and her jewelry. Annie Herman, boy.
Oh, yeah. Literal Red says, if Craig is this big liar, why would Kyle go into business with him?
I think because Kyle it seems like Loverboy's on its last leg. And I don't think if the devil himself came down and was going to write him a check, Kyle would be like, is that thing going to clear? I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's that. And he's just like we talked about earlier in the episode, like he's in such a sensitive spot with this because he's not clearing, as Mike said, the 100 million mark.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it longer and he's probably heartbroken about that. And then here comes his friend not investing in him, investing in it.
Kyle also doesn't give a shit about Craig's 25 grand. Kyle gives a shit about the image of Craig investing in a company that's not Kyle's and it hurting Kyle's company. That's why Kyle's butthurt. Like he's butthurt because of all these things. On top of that, at this point where he's maybe about to lose it all, his best buddy went and said, actually, I'm going to invest with these guys.
Yeah.
The imagery of that, the publicity of that is devastating. It could be the thing that kills Loverboy. Straight up.
Consumer psychology is like fascinating. If I'm looking for a new seltzer, I'm not grabbing for the one that may or may not be on the shelves this time next year. People that buy this kind of thing where there's so much competition, it's pretty basic. Does the can look good in my Instagram photos? Are the cool kids drinking it? And do I look leveled up with it? Do I look like I'm drinking the premium with like kind of a little more elite? The way that Kyle has sort of told everybody about all of his business woes, like it's all coming out because of the arguments he's having with Craig about it. And now everybody knows that this is a failing business. It has left a stench on a product that like I just don't think does well with like you want to drink with the winners. Like it's really a
Get in with
really-
the in crowd.
Yeah, it's just like if you're telling me this is a failing company and I don't know anything else about it and I have never even tasted it, there's so many options out there. I'm not grabbing for that can. Like just psychological. I don't even realize I'm doing it when we're not doing it. I don't even realize I'm not grabbing for it until I don't. But it's like
He's in a really hard competitive space. The liquor business is nar.
yeah.
I don't think Craig has a team behind him. Kyle does not. If Kyle has a C-suite, I'd be shocked. When you say you have investors, it means someone wrote you a check.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have like board meetings. And I'm
Yeah.
not sure that he's like, yes, maybe he's telling everyone at the year's end or quarterly, this is what we're doing. But it's not like you're meeting monthly with your C-suite to go over all of these big plans. I don't even think they have a digital, like a social media team. Like I went on their website and it's all pictures that it looks like they took in their apartment for their merch. And like they don't have like huge photo shoots that you're setting up that are costing you, you know, thousands of dollars every month. He's doing it on like a lean and mean budget, I think.
Janie says Lisa Vanderpump needs to do the reunions. She can be super shady. This was in the chance that
I
there
saw
was
that
no
one.
Andy, and I was like, the day I turn down Lisa Vanderpump for any job is the day you can bury me. Wanda Denny, agree with Mike. Craig no longer needs Paige. Craig is backed by a PR team and savvy business partners. Hashtag Team Craig. The blonde on the couch is delusional if she thinks Craig isn't a pathological liar. Her defense of Craig is cringe. Sorry. I like Craigie. That smile. Me? Yow. I think that's it.
We did it. Mike, I don't know what you're complaining about because I have this shit on lock.
You do now.
I'm just saying, I think
Yeah.
I'm a quicker study with the clock than you.
Oh, Courtney's good at clocks.
Well, someone is at least. How many times did you go, see this button? You'd think it was this button, but it's like every time I hit this button because you think it'd be this button. And Courtney takes and she goes, it is this button.
One time it wasn't. And that's the thing. One time, sometimes it's just not that button.
It's always that button.
No, it wasn't. One time you were like, oh, I'm doing it. You're
I
right.
just did it and
Da-da-da.
hit it correctly.
That's what they all say.